Now, Mr. Sanwalka, how is fraud actually detected?
Corporate fraud can be detected by a number of ways. Obviously, there are formal systems like internal controls or investigative data analytics. However, a number of frauds are detected by sheer accident or informal methods like whistleblower mechanisms.
Could you compare and contrast the fraud controls which exist in Sri Lanka with the rest of the world or the region? Are we doing things right?
I would say by and large, yes, given the maturity of the economy where Sri Lanka is, I think so is doing much better than what other countries were at the same stage. Even when I compare it to India, when I look at it in terms of the kind of responses you have had, the nature of responses, I would say Sri Lankan economy is quite evolved, and I'm very happy with the service results the way they have come out.
Mr. Sanwalka, what measures should be in place to ensure that fraud is brought completely under control or eradicated within the corporate sector?
Yeah, okay, so first of all, I don't think so fraud can ever be eradicated. I think so that's a fallacy to think like that. What the battle is always about, how do I minimize the fraud and keep on minimizing it? And I think so that's a far more cost-effective way. The way to do it are three. One is clearly create a culture of zero tolerance to fraud. So as in when you see something, you got to act and act decisively on it. And number two is to use latest detection techniques regarding like forensic data analytics. And thirdly, I think so the tone at the top should be very clear and continually emphasize on a very robust code of conduct and its implementation.
Now, based on KPMG survey results, how dire is the fraud situation in Sri Lanka?
Yeah, I think so. I can just talk about in relative terms, and in relative terms, there are not many surprises in terms of what I find here versus what I found in other, even developed economies. So I think so. What it really reinforces the view is that fraud is all pervasive, and it really doesn't so much matter of the economies. It may vary in terms of the quantum or the size, but if you look at the type of issues which are coming up, or where they are coming up, it's typically middle management for kickbacks and diversion of funds type, senior management for financial statement frauds, and there are industries where there's a lot of money. So I think so in those broad headings, I don't find much of a difference. Some little bits and unique pieces are there, but that would be true in any country.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me over.